Alright, so we did it. Okay, cool. I'm gonna turn this down because it's super loud. Let's turn it down like real low. Alright, so we did it. Okay, so first things first. The bottom center of the screen here says that we've beaten one game in 2024. That is incorrect now. We have now beaten 2 games. And 449 since we started doing this in 2020. Alright, cool. Yeah, you know, my initial inclination is to think that this is easily the best Mega Man so far. And that it's not even close. It was hard, but not in a way that was frustrating, like especially the first one and even some of the second one. I thought the boss fights were better. They were more interesting. I feel like they just put more effort into making them more dynamic. And the levels were kind of whatever. It was really all about the boss fights for me. Kind of always has been. I'm just looking on my rankings list how many times I've died in the other ones. I died 196 times in Mega Man and only 69 times in Mega Man 2. Yeah, so that was the thing. It's like Mega Man 2 was clearly an improvement on Mega Man 1. It was just in every way. The platforming was really rough in the first one. It was really frustrating. The way the game was put together was weird. They were swinging hard, and you know that's where the Mega Man formula comes from, and that's all great. But it was really rough. The first Mega Man game. The second Mega Man game was a lot more refined. It was also much easier. Now, I'm not saying it was easy. I'm still, you know, using save states so I don't have to worry about running out of lives. I'm still a cheater, but I died a lot less. 69 instead of 196, I think is what I said. This game is kind of the best of both worlds. It's much more challenging, which makes it more engaging. The bosses are way harder, especially a couple of them. That Needle Man, oof, he had my number. And so it had that going for it, and so the boss fights were a lot better than either of the games because of that. But it was a lot, but it had all the refinement, all of the you know, the finely tuned nature of the second game. So I think this one's easily my favorite. I mean, these games so far, it's all been about the boss fights. The levels, they're fine, but it's really about the boss fights. And still, there is a little bit of a pitfall in this game where once you know what the weapon you're supposed to use against the boss, if you have it, then it becomes fairly trivial at that point, and it's really just about figuring that out. And that's another way that using save states is a huge advantage, because you're going to spend a life trying to figure out if those snakes hurt that boss, right? Whereas I don't have to worry about that. I've got as many attempts as I want. So there's still a pitfall with, like, they're not like really challenging bosses that are like really like make you like, you know, you've got to pull out all the stops and just be your best gamer, because like a Souls-like or something, because once you figure out, if you have it, once you figure out what weapon it is that you need, you just blast away and then you're pretty much done. The biggest problem I had in this game was I went to Needle Man early and he destroyed me, and I only had 2 other weapons at that point, and neither of them were the one that I needed, and so I actually had to back out and, you know, allow myself to run out of lives and start on a different stage and come back to him last when I had all the weapons, just so I knew I wouldn't have to do that again. And that was the biggest challenge of the game, but that was just luck, right? Because, I mean, if I happened to get one of the levels, what I'm saying is that there's an intrinsic, inherent, I wouldn't call it a flaw, but there is a bit of a pitfall with the Mega Man formula so far, whereas, like, there's not really such thing as a boss fight that's really hard when it comes to the basic 8. unless you're unlucky. And you can get lucky and make a trivial matter out of a really easy boss. Now, I will say that the second time I had to fight Needleman, I had the weapon to kill him, and he still destroyed me. So that was a big improvement. There wasn't anything among the basic 8 bosses in Mega Man 2 or 1 like that, where it was like, he's just hard anyway, and you have to fight him multiple times or whatever. And then it was cool to see the morphing, what's it called? The green devil, or the yellow devil, call back to the first game, because that was my favorite boss in the first game. To fight him again, that was cool. And that was hard no matter what. The final boss was weird, because it took me a while to figure out what the weapon was to use against him, but once I figured it out, then it wasn't that hard. But fighting the Yellow Devil again was great. Love that. And then Needleman took me to task. That was really fun. So this is easily the best one. I think this is the first one in the series. I'm playing them in order. This is the first one that I've really thoroughly enjoyed. I really liked this one. It's not Super Mario Brothers or anything, or Lost Levels or 2. But it's a hell of a lot better than Sonic so far, and it's made that leap now, where I'm enjoying it as much as, say, maybe a Zelda game or some of the other retro games that I've really liked. It's still not going to be top 100 or anything, because retro games just almost always aren't, except for Punch-Out. But this is easily the best Mega Man. I'm excited to see what's next after this. I think the next one might be the jump to Super Nintendo. I don't know that for sure, but I'm excited to see where the series goes. I really, really enjoyed this one. This one was a lot of fun, and it was hard. But I really enjoyed it. Okay, all right, that's it. I don't really have much else to say on this one. There's not that much to say, but I thought it was great. The best of both worlds. All right. This is the point in the video where I would say, all right, Mega Man 3, it's been fun, but we've now beaten you, and so we're going to delete you from our console and never play you again. But we're not going to do that, because this has the other Mega Man, 4 and 5 and 6 on it. So we're not going to do that. What? This has, 4, 5, and 6 on it. So I'll get to those at some point. But yeah. Great game. So we're going to skip that part, and we'll just say goodbye, Mega Man. We loved you. Bye, Mega Man 3. Thank you for being the best Mega Man so far.